This week on the program, can someone turn on the goddamn lights? I can't see a thing in this movie. It's The Purge. I'm Andrew Jupin.
I'm the founding father, Steven Sadak.
Eric Purge.
Chris Cabin, election year.
And we hate movies.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
Sometimes that is better.
Zombies have entered the building. They're at the door. They're coming in.
It is time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
You sick fucks. You've seen one too many movies.
Nah, Sid! Don't you blame the movies! Movies don't create psychos! Movies make psychos more creative!
Put the fucking lotion in the bag!
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, that's right. The Spooktacular continues with a movie that's, well, it's not really saying anything. It's The Purge from 2013, directed by James DeMonaco, who also did Anarchy and Election Year, sequels to this motion picture.
Much better films.
And he wrote the very poor Assault on Precinct 13 remake.
Oh, is that right?
And he also wrote his how he broke out was with Jack. With Francis Ford Coppola's
really?
Jack.
But he wrote that?
He wrote Jack.
So he wrote Jack.
Yes.
Did nothing for years on end.
Uh-huh.
And then wrote that Ethan Hawke Assault on Precinct 13.
No,
movie.
he worked. He did The Negotiator. Like, he was just a screenwriter.
Interesting.
Well, I'm getting more impressed by the second Mr. James
DeMonaco.
There you go.
Oh, if I wasn't writing screenplays, I'd have a family-style restaurant.
He's from Staten Island,
Oh,
which makes all the
shit.
sense of the goddamn world.
Oh yeah.
But isn't the first Purge takes place on Staten Island, right? That's the idea. Like, I was reading a description of
This movie's set in California.
Sorry, the first Purge is a sequel to this
and
movie.
who's on the first Purge?
All right.
It's great. Yeah, because I knew that there was another movie called that, but then I said that.
Did you?
You are correct, Steve.
So I think you guys are all, I would say, fluently versed in the Purge-verse. This is the only of these movies I've ever seen. This is one and done.
I only saw two, so I'm still learning. I'm in like Purge 201 or whatever.
So you can do like conversational Purge, but you're not fluent yet. Oh, I see.
I did say, where's the toilet in Purge?
It's in this movie, dude. That's where the toilet
Purge
is.
Anarchy's after this. I saw that one, and I kind of liked it, but I didn't see any of the others.
I knew that I didn't want to watch this movie, and I never have until last night. But then when the Purge Anarchy came out, I think maybe you and Chris were like, "Oh, it's good. You should watch it." And I did, and I was like, "Oh, it's awesome," or it was really fun. And then I wound up. The end of my Purge experience was election night on 2016. My wife and I were like, "You know, it'd be really funny if we watched Purge's election year instead of watching
you guys
election coverage."
You guys did it.
Yes,
that's what it was.
And that was a like, LOL, Purge election year. What's my cell phone telling me going on?
Yeah.
And that was the end of me in the Purge. Yeah, it was just like, you know what, that's enough.
Well, I've doomed us all.
Why won't my fucking phone stop buzzing? The fuck?
Wait, so Chris or Eric?
Yeah.
Well, I guess just Chris then. So you've seen them all.
I've seen them all.
Did you fucking dabble in that
I'm
TV
not
show?
watching the TV show.
You're not watching
No, I'm
the
not
TV
watching the
show.
TV
All
show.
right.
No,
He's
thank
not.
you.
He's not
Please, no.
What would that even be? Is it like one season is one night's Purge, or
I don't think so. I think it's more of
Just
like
stories.
yeah, like stories from the Purge.
Oh, okay.
Again, I've never watched it.
You gotta really care about the Purge
Like,
if you're watching that TV
What
show.
happens? What happens to a Manhattan jeweler during the Purge? What happens to
I can take a couple of guesses.
what happens to a farmhand during the Purge? You know.
Yeah.
So, if anyone is unfamiliar with the very high concept of this franchise,
It's Shirley Jackson for morons.
America has devolved to such a state, which I think we're right there. We're about to actually ratify this. Once a year from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., all crime is legal, and they have to specify in this little opening and elsewhere, including murder.
Yeah.
Just in case anyone was unsure, Murder is also on the table.
Including murder.
Which is there's two exceptions. One, it's members of the state,
level 10.
Level 10 members of the state are exempt, whatever that means.
Is there a website for that? Is there a pamphlet I have to buy?
You definitely have to buy it.
Shit.
Wait a minute. Even on the Purge, I can't kidnap Governor Whitmer.
And
what's the point?
And very specifically, weapons class 1 to class 4, which I assume class 5 is A-bomb, so Oppenheimer's out of here. Oppenheimer can contribute on the Purge.
I mean, yeah, that's a good call, because like you are seeing machine gunning go down in this movie, so I'm like, all right, AR-15s are fine. So what is that? Like bombs, I guess?
Dirty bombs and stuff like that. I guess you don't want that. Like that.
Well, isn't it nice they have rules?
That would clear up by sunup, you see. So there you go.
Well, I would never drop a bomb on everybody. I would, though, like to fuck everyone's wife on the night of the Purge. Purge night, while the men are out fucking, and killing, I would like to be fucking.
Right.
If I can.
That used to be illegal, right? Like,
that's true.
You know, out of wedlock like that.
That's just that would have been the Purge back then. Just fucking everybody's wife.
Definitely.
Well, that's what I want, right? I want like Purge white collar division. Where it's like, oh, cool, the Purge is happening. Time to cheat on my taxes.
Or like, download a bunch of movies you could do.
Yes. Torn Town.
Definitely would wait for the Purge to do that.
A trans woman could use the bathroom wherever the fuck she wanted in the South. That'd be exciting for her for a day.
But also
for an evening
would be great too. It's like, think about the zoo, Chris.
Zoo?
You and your freaks could descend upon that.
Me and my
you would
freaks.
just start going through those animals.
Chris, you and your gang of horse fuckers can
people would be having sex with animals constantly.
Oh, well,
during the
sure.
Purge.
But not me and my freaks. No, I don't think so.
No, well, the freaks you know of.
Sure.
What if you do, you run out of ideas for the Purge because there's been so many, and there's
animal fucking in the new one.
You could go animal fuck or after the animal fucking one, because we have to get that one done first. You gotta get that one in the can.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Dude, just cloning Night of the Purge. Like, just what night? Like, it's 7:15. He's like, now I'm gonna clone a human being.
Whoa, that would be.
Then what are you gonna
incredible.
do? What's gonna happen there?
Yeah. I'd love this idea.
Yeah.
And then you can kill it and be merciful.
Would the clone be illegal by 7 a.m.?
That's what I was gonna ask, dude. Like, once 7 a.m. hits, is like Michael Keaton number 4? Like, does that dude have to go to jail now?
Harris Yulin is just making Michael Keaton.
Be quiet! Come on, we only got 2 more hours. Gotta crank out some more Keatons.
Shoot them all. That's what you gotta do. It's
6:30 a.m. Get shooting.
I'll give you the gun. Here it is. Yeah, the stupid one first.
That would be a more interesting movie than this movie.
Guarantee you, by the way, airlines are gouging you the week before the Purge to get out of the country. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Those trips are fucking nuts.
Dude, it's worse than the night before Thanksgiving.
I mean, this is literally speaking to exactly what the problem of this is you've created this world that is insane. And I want to see all the weird shit.
Yes.
I want to see it all. And I have to look at Ethan Hawke's fucking face the whole time. And it's a nice face.
Oh, sure.
Not going to say it isn't, but not what I want.
It's a great elevator pitch, right? It's you're the elevator with Mr. Blumhouse himself, and you're like, hey man, listen, one night a year, murder is legal, and he's like, whoa. And the problem is, and he gets out of the elevator, he's gonna be like, wait a second, and anything after that, wait a second, the whole thing unravels completely. Anytime you think,
but he bought into it, and then the film was set entirely in the Blumhouse. I think
it is,
because we don't go outside in this movie. Which
certainly don't.
It would be nice if they did, but I understand that they didn't because of budgetary constraints, and also the idea of hunkering down with your family during an event like this, I guess, is relatable.
It just kills a lot of this, not even satire, the point of the movie. Like I was thinking, because it doesn't. The message isn't really clear, and I know
I don't know what we're trying to say.
Yes.
Like Americans are scumbags. I know that. I live here.
Gun control is a big problem, obviously. Like America, but then again, like the movie turns into gun porn at the end. He's got a super gun and is like fucking laying waste to these people. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
That's that big shotgun thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But also, like, it doesn't tell you anything about like what's going on. Like, clearly it's not a perfect society outside of like the Purge hasn't fixed anything. Like, and I think that's what the movie.
Well, no, the Purge has fixed everything, Andrew.
Yes.
You're wrong. It's fixed everything for some reason.
Even
It's so stupid.
The jobs report, we're down to 1% unemployment because of Purge? ?
And crime is virtually, by the way, non-existent.
Because it's like, I'm going to do the crime on the crime day. I'm going to wait for crime day.
That's what
to do my crime.
that at the core is why this is one of the stupidest ideas of all time. Because then you're saying like, okay, things like crimes of passion, things of that nature are just eliminated, and some dude's like, yeah, all right, it's July 7th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait 8 months, and then you're gonna get.
It's like the state being like, premeditate your crimes, people. We don't. Please come on, think it through.
I'm gonna stop systematically domestic abusing my wife, which is how most murderers fucking start.
But once the Purge happens, Alice, to the moon.
Exactly.
Oh, that's true.
You just wait. I'm gonna remember this cold dinner for 13 weeks or whatever.
It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And also, it also presupposes not only like the white collar crimes and whatever, all those like little
bestiality,
the fun indiscretions. We are a nation of not just even like serial killers, like crazy, creepy, eerie serial killers.
These like neighbors at the end that are like, we're gonna cleanse our souls, and I'm like, what are you talking
It's
about?
all the Hannibal universe. Like literally every other corner, except for there's nothing artful about it at all. So fuck it. But like, I would love it if someone just made the point, like, because I always took it as like the job report, all that shit is bullshit because the founding fathers are bullshit, and like
new founding
fathers, also the original founding fathers are bullshit, but whatever. But that I always assume that's like the thing is they're just papering it over to make people feel better about what's happening.
I guess so. Yeah, there's a religious tinge to it in a way. Like
there is
the way we're talking about these new founding fathers and the society they've brought us to. And now we're in the blessed year of
2022.
2022 last year.
This film is from 10 years ago, 2013, 2022. And the montage of the purges of the past purges we get to
we opened with all
here.
the security footage.
Which is dated March 22nd, 2020.
And never has it been more clear that America is creatively bankrupt than seeing these kills. I'm seeing nothing good. I got a chainsaw. I want to be Toby Hooper. Like a fucking shotgun. Come on. It's the fucking, you get to do whatever you want.
Well, wait, you're asking us to become like a nation of John Kramers, dude, and that's not going to happen.
But I wish there was just a couple. Like, you don't have anything else to really put your stuff into.
We're the laziest, slothiest country on the planet.
Quickly, the 2020 stuff, hey, it confirms, right? Like this lockdowns. They predicted the lockdowns,
They did.
right?
Yeah.
And here it's the Purge.
Well,
in real life, it was a different type of an event.
I do think this movie does understand that the bounce back to Obama was going to be bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing this movie gets right. Is like the conservative bounce back, because it was happening, the Tea Party, et cetera, et cetera. Like something, it's not going to be good. And you know what I mean? Like, that sort of is an okay-ish starting point.
Yeah, sure.
Okay-ish.
But I feel like it's probably why people say those sequels are better, because taking off, like, it's a big idea, and then like just like you present it up front in your intro, and then you don't really see it executed outside of this one house.
Because then you're just ripping off The Strangers for 90 minutes.
Pretty much.
Which is a much better movie.
Which is a much better movie. And I mean, it was a huge, not even influence. Like, I mean, obviously that this movie is just eating at The Strangers, but I mean, it's like the other movies at least are action horror movies.
Yes, you're outside.
You're open. You know, there's Escape from New York-y kind of stuff going on. That's because they're not. It's not a scary concept. That's the problem.
There's creative decisions being made in the sequels.
Yes,
like the sequels are all like the different ways they dress up, like different ways they do things. That does happen, and it would be cool if they were highlighting the fact like Americans are lazy and stupid, and therefore they do it that way. But they're not doing that. They're just kind of
Right,
like,
they should be
fuck
like-
it, we
there
don't
should-
want to do anything else.
There should be like an app where you hire someone to kill
That
for
would-
you.
like that stuff would be cool.
Yeah, like
But,
Maybe
like,
that's addressed in the television show.
instant coffin or something.
It's murder, but there's no E in it.
yeah, exactly.
Your murderer is he's been a fucking circle the block for an hour.
Why is he taking a bike to get here?
They always show so many more murderers than there actually are in the neighborhood. What would be funny?
Yeah, hi, this is John, your murderer. Did you want me to kill his wife too? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, because I'm here, I could do it.
Is it this guy? Because it doesn't look like the guy. If it's the guy in the house, do you still want me to kill him? It doesn't look like him. It seems like the same brand. I mean, the same guy.
Well, you better try next door too. Just kill everyone on the block.
Yeah, just why not? But like, if you wanted to do this correctly, and the problem is, you have a world that's much more interesting than what's going on in your little sphere here.
Yeah.
But also, you know what this is Panic Room.
Yes.
And you know how we take time with the villains trying to get in. In this, it's just a bunch of little fascists being like,
So that's
I've seen funny games.
That's a question I had, right? Is like, where is this dude's panic room?
I was thinking
Because it's just a house with a gate, and this fucking waspy guy that's the leader of, like, the subtitles call them freaks, like the freaks or whatever. You know, just some spoiled rich fucking dude or whatever, is like, there's some guys coming and we're gonna have some tools and we're gonna knock your fence down. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's like that really slim detail thrown in where Ethan Hawke, like towards the end of the movie, is like, oh well, my systems weren't designed for stuff like this. And I'm like, what is any of this?
Then don't make your lead character a security installer or whatever.
Because I mean, like, you know, what did he go for? The B package? The gold package has to have a gold tier panic room in it. That is the premier. That it's that, and then the fences are later. Whatever.
You think like, oh, like that room where like Ethan Hawke's got all like the security monitors up, and he's like, we're all gonna come in here for the start of the purge, but it's just like a TV room in the house. It's not. There's not even a door on it.
That room should be the fucking safe from thief.
Exactly.
Like, you should not be able to get the fuck into
I think
it
it's,
at all.
It's the budget. We couldn't afford to do anything in this movie.
Well, also, I mean, we'll start soon, I swear. But like the problem is that these characters are not interesting. Like the dynamic in the family is very boring, and then like the shit that happens with the boyfriend, I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's a joke. That whole thing.
What?
You cramp, because that's the thing. When you like, what is this movie about? Because like, it should sort of, if you believe the log line, it should be about, oh my God, do we save this homeless black stranger, or do we not save this homeless black stranger?
Black veteran stranger.
Exactly.
Because they highlight them dog tags, dude. We are saying something without saying a goddamn thing.
But by having the boyfriend thing and making that a weird personal aside that has huge consequences of the movie, and then the ending with the neighbors, it's like, well, then what the fuck are we even talking about anymore?
Yep. It totally loses sight of like whatever it thinks it was maybe starting to try to say.
Exactly.
But yes, Ethan Hawke is Mr. Sandin here, and yes, he is indeed a home security mogul, which in itself is kind of interesting, right? Because yes, in this world of the Purge, that dude would be a commerce king, right? Like, I have the goods, I can keep your house safe, yada yada. It's kind of the thing that also stupidly winds up biting the family in the ass at the end of the movie, because all the neighbors are jealous of him throwing his
money
success,
around,
but they all live in a rich ass neighborhood. What are you talking about?
This house is so big. The stranger that shows up gets lost in it. Yeah, we don't know where he is.
Dude,
the house is too big.
I despise
no
this.
idea.
Like, they're trying to make it so like multiple threads can be going on at the same time in this movie, but like, it's just a big house. And there's parts where like characters get shot, and then they cut to another part of the house where the other character clearly has not heard a gun go off. What are you doing?
I mean, the daughter is just lost in another movie for most of it.
Yes.
She's in Skinamarink for most of it.
That'd be great, dude. The Skinamarink demons and stuff can have sense. Oh, well, you know, we can just do it that night.
Do you want to go upstairs?
It's all legal now. Come up here.
Honey, have you seen the toilet?
What happened to your mouth? What happened to your mouth? I need to hear this now.
Joey, the phone's following me.
Zoe, this is supposed to be surveillance footage. What are these old cartoons? Come on, Zoe.
Get your fucking toys out of here.
It's amazing how this girl gets lost in her own house she lives in.
Ethan Hawke, he's like king shit, closing some deals or whatever.
I realized I don't like him playing these kinds of guys, and he doesn't do it a lot. Like he's played like jerks and kind of like guys who'd be like, I don't know about that. But this guy's like an openly like greedy scumbag kind of character, real sleazy salesman type thing. I don't like him playing this role.
He's the hero at the end, which doesn't make sense.
Nope,
And it's like,
it's
but you're
dumb.
also like, he's supposed to protect it. And it becomes really like, obviously like, he's got to protect his, you know what I mean? Like, which is just kind of boring.
It is.
Yeah.
Lena Headey is Mary Sandin, the wife and mother here.
Yeah,
and this is 2 years into Game of Thrones, so she's kind of at the height of her powers being in this movie.
Yeah, and actually, the interesting note about the Purge is that's the only night of the year this wig is legal. That's the only time. Any other time she should get arrested for wearing this wig, and rightfully so.
Her mother's calling her and being like, "Are you excited? It's the day you finally get to take it out."
And she's introduced like watching some program where like a doctor is explaining like mental benefits of the purge, and it's all just like, how are you people believing this?
Well, you see, when you purge, you come a little bit, and that's what happens, and then you feel good, and then you don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, I'm purging.
It's what happens when you do that, or when you're fucking a horse.
Yeah.
Either or, you're coming a little bit.
That's true. Don't forget, not just murder, folks. You could fuck a horse tonight.
There are pelicans out there. If you can catch one, fuck it.
Grab it,
That's
you
fine.
fuck it. You grab it and you fuck it fast.
That would be great.
I'm a medical professional.
Doctor, it says.
I'm a doctor, letting you know the purge is coming up. Grab an animal and fuck it fast.
Yep, Dr. Horsefucker.
There would be a great it would be like maybe a religious group is like stuffing envelopes full of like brochures about other crimes you should commit other than murder on that. It's like, why not just steal from your neighbor's carpet? You know what I mean? Like what?
Absolutely.
Steal the television.
Some robbery. Just some robbery.
Jaywalk as much as you'd like.
Good old
crossing the street now.
See, it's these good old fashioned crimes that made this country great.
Exactly.
You know?
You just want to beat the shit out of somebody? Go ahead, beat the shit out of them.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
Just don't kill them.
Well, maybe. We'll see how it goes.
If you get in the heat at that point.
Yeah.
But then, so then this Zoe is the daughter who we've mentioned. She's introduced canoodling with this boyfriend.
Henry.
Oh, yeah. This little prick.
And wearing this outfit.
It's a sexy schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah.
It's a Halloween sexy schoolgirl.
Body has arrived.
You do not have to be this obvious about like teenage boys, please come see the movie.
Yes.
Enjoy the movie, please.
It is hilarious that she's dressed like that through the entire film.
All
it's like,
of it.
I don't know, maybe get a pair of sweatpants on. Your home's being invaded.
Exactly. Your boyfriend's over, whatever. Maybe you're putting on a show. You're having a good time.
Sure.
He leaves. Let's get some sweatpants. It's purge night. I'm not in the mood to be all dolled up on purge night.
To be comfy and like looser clothes. You can jump around faster. If you need to grab an axe or something. You know.
And also,
you need that like flexibility.
And what is Ethan Hawke doing? Setting this like 3, 2, 1. Like I would be like, everybody's got to be home at 1 p.m. We're shutting down early for purge night.
You know why he's doing 3, 2, 1 is that's the date of the purge. 3/21. It's 7 p.m.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah, that's why they came up with it as a countdown. Apparently, in the screenplay, I guess, right? Like, oh, it's 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's scary.
None of it's scary. So he comes home and he's like, honey, I got great news, but I'll tell you at dinner, I got other stuff to deal with. He does announce that Zoe's boyfriend is too old for her and like is over 18, therefore he's too old. And he's like, she better not be seeing that boy.
Unless it's tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Ahead.
This is the one night a year. Oh, great.
I might actually go out tonight. Hey, honey.
Oh, hi. Teacher. Yeah, I know that. Like, you think that I absolutely did plagiarize my paper, but I have a video of me plagiarizing it on Purge night.
Yeah. So here's the newspaper. Proof of life of when I plagiarized the paper.
That's genius. They should do a Purge college movie that's like, like a boob comedy.
Yes.
You get boob shenanigans and you get cheating on the final.
Purge Delta House or whatever.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
No, you see,
Purge
we stole the pig during Purge night. We got it drunk during Purge night.
Hello, that sounds like a pig being purged. And then you got this son. Speaking of
you gotta kill him.
Skinamarink,
You just have to kill him.
Disgusting shit.
Charlie is this little kid, and he's introduced with this Sid from Toy Story little machine that he's got with this burned doll's head.
I'm not even a Toy Story head, but I couldn't stop thinking about that movie during this movie with this fucking terror, this doll that's attached to an RV car or whatever.
We're just trying to add horror elements. Like, I don't know, is that scary? Like, I don't know.
It's kind of gross. That might scare someone. Put it in the movie.
I guess it's RC car, remote control. RV car is something Robin Williams drives with his family to a nice vacation.
Yes, indeed.
A film called RV that then ends up topsy-turvy.
On a mountaintop.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That's a road trip that goes tits up, if you can believe it.
Never saw it, but I understand it would be
recreational vehicle area.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, the kid, I kind of wish he was more Sid-like. Like, he just doesn't have any personality. He's just kind of like,
that's true.
This is bad.
Exactly.
Bad. And like any like complexity to this kid. Because you only give me these characters, by the way. I don't get anything else. So like these should be a little bit more interesting. And I mean, the daughter should be more than her outfit, but you're not doing that either.
No. The kids would be a more interesting angle if they were outside of the house. Maybe the daughter sneaks out to see the boyfriend.
Yes. That's something. Oh, she left the house.
Yeah.
Now Ethan Hawke, the father, have to go out into the dangerous night to find her. That's at least something.
Or if the whole movie is, again, about, like we're hunting the homeless and that's what this whole economic boom is. Center it on the homeless guy.
Yep.
And then he goes to Ethan Hawke.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like
Blue Ruins.
Here's an idea, Steve. Why don't we give that guy a name?
Yeah.
What an interesting idea. And that's the thing. That's why, like, I don't buy it with this budgetary excuse. Like, sure, you had a low budget, but like, you can do things outside with a low budget. You just had a bad script, man. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
That's all you had was a bad script and a fucking one-note idea.
Because if you start with him and like maybe he's like, shit, it's the Purge. What shelters are open? I can't get to a shelter. Oh my God, it's Purge night. And then like he has to run to the wealthy neighborhood because he knows it's safer.
Yep.
That's a movie.
Indeed. How about that?
And that's what the fucking the movies are from here on out.
Yes,
is
exactly.
They have that kind of stuff.
Is that right?
That's the whole fucking. They're like,
better setup.
Immediately, they're like, oh, this was fucking stupid. Let's do it the other way and get them outside. Although I do love the idea of Ethan Hawke being like, oh, you wanna. Oh boy, outside. I don't know. Rick Linklater. I'm in the middle of Boyhood. I need to be back in wherever we are very soon.
Sure.
Oh no, he was a believer on this project. He was
really?
Because I guess he knew Blumhouse and he knew the director from Assault. So he
Jason Blum, is that who you're referring to?
His name is Jason Blumhouse.
I like calling him Blumhouse.
Mr. Blumhouse.
He slept on couches. He only got $10,000, but he wound up making more money for this movie in back end stuff.
That's how you do it.
Yeah,
all the Purge toys and stuff.
So now, Chris, you saw the other movies. Now the Bloody Stranger, which is what this guy's credited as, he becomes more of a character. He's in one of the others. He's like in the third one. Apparently?
I read that in the trivia.
I read that
comes
too.
back, but like it's really Frank Grillo is the star of these movies.
Okay, Frank Grillo gets involved.
Wow,
King Frank Grillo.
A step. I'm not going to say step up, but we're doing a step.
It's a step.
These are his kinds of movies. These are like exactly the kind of like Election Year and Anarchy are the two best ones. I like the first Purge a lot, but it's not centralized. It's much more everywhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
But those two are Frank Grillo action movies, and as such are fantastic.
See, that's the thing, because at the heart of this, you have hunting humans for sport.
Yes.
Which is a genre I love.
Oh,
but
yeah.
This is just so piss poorly executed and told from the wrong end.
Exactly. Because if it was hunting humans for sport, it'd be so clear. Like, this is what they do. They hunt the homeless, and oh my God, and that's how the GDP goes up, man. And like, but meanwhile, we've got, the boyfriend and the neighbors and whatever else, and people and the neighbor next door just sharpening a machete, like
that's it's like all that stuff that you're like, all right, like it's kind of the first sort of glance at it, you're like, oh, that's eerie.
Yes.
But then that immediately washes away.
Well, because this movie presupposes it's like those Looney Tunes cartoons with the sheepdog and the wolf, like that. Like we're just like we punch in. It's like morning Sam, morning Ralph.
Yeah,
and they fight each other, and then they punch out. It's like see you tomorrow, Ralph. Like that doesn't make any goddamn sense though.
No. But like that setup was kind of like, okay, so the neighbor's got this welding mask on. He's like sharpening this machete. I needed to see a guy in a welding mask slashing people by the end of the movie.
Yep.
Never ever happens. I guess he might be one of the other neighbors that comes by at the end, but he never uses that weapon.
No, he doesn't. And the thing is, I think it would register more as eerie if we saw a little bit more notes of that, rather than like trying to underline how much of a big shot fucking Ethan Hawke is at the office, which is something I don't give a fuck about.
I truly don't care.
And like he's gonna tell me he got a promotion later, and there's a big scene where he talks about like I'm number one on the board.
See, that's the thing is they're trying to give us that human moment of like this is this family and this is this guy that's doing well at business, but it's so undefined that it comes off completely artificial.
Exactly. And the only other scene that they plan here before we get into the house for the lockdown is the neighbors come over. And the one lady is like, oh, say, Mary, rumor has it that your husband's sales this year paid for that addition on your house. And also you got Chris Mulkey.
Yes.
Doing shit all nothing.
He has my favorite line at the end of the movie, though, which is great.
But yeah, so it's like him and his wife, and then other neighbor lady just kind of dropping by. Have a good purge.
Other neighbor lady. So the cookies, by the way, poison cookies, you think? What do you think?
I hope so.
Yeah, it's like, but they'd have to come with a note, right? It's like, don't eat these cookies till after 7 p.m. or I'm getting sent up the river.
Marsha, I know what you're trying. Nice try.
Oh, this isn't my first purge. Garbage.
What is this? 1997?
But the other neighbor lady, it's really important, is black, and it's like then it makes much more. It's crisper and it's more what you're trying to talk about. If most of those people are white hunting a black person, you know what I mean? Like having the black lady and making it more about like class. I get what you're saying,
yes, but you have to lean into class more than
exactly. You can't do both, and like because very clearly what they're hunting, and what it kind of annoys me later too. Like they keep calling like the guy in Ethan Hawke's house that homeless pig. That homeless pig is like swine, and it's like just like I don't want the nuclear one, but you having a slur in there would make actually sense in clarifying what we're talking about.
Sure, but the movie doesn't know what it wants to talk about, so that's why all of these things just are thrown out there, and it's like whatever you think it is we're saying, you better believe that's what we're saying.
It's pretty dark, isn't it? Huh? Pretty bad.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, we have this dinner scene where Ethan Hawke is like, oh, I had my division sold the most security system. And I'm like, I just don't care.
It's like 1950s parlance practically.
Yes.
What is he, a traveling salesman? Like, is the boss coming over for dinner? Yes. Hell, I would love that. Welcome that. That'd be a fun purge.
That would be a cool thing if literally like the inside was as detailed as a 1950s, like appointed, cleaned like that.
Right.
To show that we're going back, but like
lean into the pastiche.
Yeah. Anything to give you some. That's the other thing is it's just like directed like shit. Like it doesn't look good, and like there's one or two like the machete sharpening scene I thought was well done, and like with the kids sneaking out
that's
before not sneaking out.
3 seconds of film.
Yes, exactly.
So 3 seconds of this 85-minute movie.
Trying to say something positive.
No, I agree. To that point, like Andrew was saying, it's too dark. I mean, and that's what you're setting it at night, and the house, like. Your house is already under assault. Is it really? Is it hurting to have the lights on? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's annoying that they cut the power. But
yes. Get a generator. What are you doing?
Exactly. That should be part of the goddamn security.
You're the security guy.
Yes. Like, oh wait, so they just cut the power. That's it. Yeah.
Well, that would also be an interesting idea. Is if you found out halfway through this, like Ethan Hawke gets on the phone with his boss or something, and he finds out they're all bunk. They're fucking garbage. They don't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And that at least gives you something to build on.
that would actually build on that the neighbors could be fucking mad at them for more than just having more money.
Yeah, I bought your security system. Someone broke in and killed my kid or whatever.
Or fucked my dog or whatever.
Yes, I mean, it all does come back to that.
Guys going, in the background of the movie, guy going door to door, fucking every dog. And
It's like there's only one dude that's into bestiality, but he's really good at it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he gets around.
I feel like the neighborhood would have to rally together to kill that guy.
Yeah.
You can't fucking find him. He's so good at it.
It'd be like M then. Yeah.
He's totally naked. He's greased up. He's ready to go at all times, and he will fuck your dog or your cat, come in your fish tank, whatever he needs to do to do bestiality in your house.
Poor fish eating that up, not knowing what it is.
The notion of
Chris. Wait, Chris, do that again, real quick. No, just once.
For private, I'll do it.
No.
But no, so the thing that I find hysterical about these freaks cut the power to their house is like Ethan Hawke comes up and he's like, all right, look, I don't know if you can tell from the outset, I got a really huge, weird house here. I can't find shit. We're trying to find this guy. And they're like, got it. Cut the power so you can't have lights to find. I'm like, what? Think about any of this screenplay. None of this makes sense. You're so bad. You're so bad.
The screenplay is so bad because there's so many specifics that go nowhere. When we meet Chloe and her boyfriend Henry, they're making out. Zoe, sorry, and they're making out, and then he's like, we don't say I love you. Let's growl at each other, and they do this really stupid thing where they growl instead of saying I love you. That never comes back.
No.
The kid writes a weird short story about a man who loves so much it kills people. Or something.
Right. Oh, yeah. They're because that's at the dinner scene where he's like, Ethan Hawke's like, I want to hear about everyone's day.
Yes.
And I mean that as a father.
Listen, we got it. I need 10 minutes now to get this to 80.
Look, we can't just be talking about Houdini the dog rapist. We can't be doing that. We have to talk about other things.
We all know how clever and masterful Houdini is at what he does. But I'm sick of bringing this guy up at the dinner table.
We all have money on him. We all know whose dog's going first.
Think about how cool it would be. He's out there oiled up, completely nude. He comes across the freaks who try to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he just
slips away.
Slipping around them. He's slapping his boner in their head.
And just laughs into the night.
Oh, he's like that Coney 2012 guy, just naked, slapping the fucking sidewalk.
Yeah, doing cockata.
Ask your kids about that. Ask your grandparents about the Coney 2012 guy.
And he won't kill anybody though, because all he wants to do is rape animals.
No, don't be scared now. Don't be scared now. I'm just here to fuck your dog.
Murder is morally repugnant. I don't know.
Come here, check out.
I'm about love. It's all about love.
I love my brothers, my animal brothers, and my human brothers.
It's the only night I could be who I am.
Just let me live.
Oh, you got a potbelly pig? Oh, I'm going to see you on Purge night, baby boy.
Houdini's going to have a fun Purge with you.
You got a date on Purge night? Holy shit. That would definitely be happening.
No, Schnelly, get inside. Here comes Houdini.
No. Even I can't stop him. That guy's too damn good at what he does.
Oh, Houdini, on the next Purge, you're going to be terminated. Don't worry about it.
We're going to get Houdini on the Schwarzenegger cast. And we're going to talk to him about his deeds. No, I would never steal a car. That's just, why would you do that to somebody? That's
oh my God, watch a bootleg movie. That's repugnant.
terrible.
Schnelly, run.
They work so hard on those pictures.
Nope, I'll update on my taxes quarterly and otherwise.
No, but yeah, so the kid is like, today in school, I wrote a short story about a man who loves so much his heart exploded, like whatever it is. And I guess that's designed to tell you, like, this little boy ain't built for the Purge.
Yeah, I guess so. But then why does he have the creepy doll then? Like,
it's two, you're right. It's like kind of two kids in one, because that's a real, he's not only does he have the creepy doll on the RC car, he's got the little hideaway in his closet. Oh, you just move this wall and there's all sorts of stuff.
I think you're supposed to say, I think he's on the fence. Like, he could become a Purge boy very easily.
Yeah.
But maybe he's not killing. Maybe he could go get an apprenticeship with Houdini.
Well, that's exactly what I think Ethan Hawke is thinking about now. Is trying to find.
Oh, I got to raise a little killer so he doesn't go around fucking all sorts of horses and whatnot.
It's a coin flip.
It's the two kinds of Purge people, really.
But there's we learn, like, just they're just throwing you like little itty bitty tidbits about like the culture around this, right? So he's like, all right, family, now we got to get into the room with all the monitors for the lockdown to start. And you hear mentions of like, oh, Sue's having her annual purge party.
Yes.
And they didn't get invited. And I'm like, for the love of God, cut to what a purge party looks like for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
We just 2 little seconds.
I feel like that's the Onania Club where they're all masturbating to the television.
Oh, honey, you get the 9/11 footage ready.
Oh my God, that's the one that, dude, we need to institute the purge so that Tom Six can release the Onania. Just one purge, and then he releases the Onania Club, and then it ends.
Onania Club screening, one night only. Let's go.
No, of course, I would never kill anybody. I just want to scream the Onania Club.
Oh, Houdini, get out of here. This is ridiculous.
That's my old friend Houdini. We've known each other for many years.
My next movie is going to be about Houdini.
It is a biopic of Houdini, not the Houdini you know, my Houdini.
Yeah, dude, that's I'm going to turn the biopic on its head. It's a biopic about someone you've never heard of.
It's a great idea. It's the one night of the year you can release the Onania Club, and never again.
And he should do it.
We see his Ethan Hawke has like this. It's kind of a futuristically lit gun closet.
Sure.
I've never seen a gun closet with purple lighting like this.
Oh, they're out
nice.
there, I bet.
I mean, this is 2013, so we are in the not too distant future. We're having a little bit of fun with some things are a little different.
Just the
Well,
littlest bit.
if you're worried about science facts and how they eat and breathe on Purge night, you're overthinking it.
That's a good point.
It's just Purge night. Just go with it, all right?
But like he takes out a gun or whatever.
I can't, honey. The security system. I used it to build my robot friends.
The invention exchange. Yes, sirs. This is made to kill as many freaks as possible once they enter the yard.
So you're telling me that our security system was built out of a gumball machine?
That's when they shot Joel Robinson into space, was on Purge night.
That's
They're
right.
like, oh, come in here, Joel.
It's the one night. It's fine.
What? So wait.
Oh, wow, I guess it's legal. All right.
Is he supposed to look like a crow, or what?
Just get in the spaceship.
Okay.
I said get in. But no, so the kid is looking, he's like, but Dad, what about the security system?
Yes.
And he's like, it's just a precaution, son. And we're like, okay, he's got guns in the house.
And
Great.
also, FYI, this kid is too young to have the key number. That is for mommy and daddy
That's
only.
true.
Maybe Zoe because she's like
Yeah.
17. But little Charlie with the creepy fucking dolls, he does not have the security kid system.
You gotta I don't know. What are you gonna do? Tie up his hands or glue them together or something? You don't want this kid fiddling on Purge.
Because I don't want. First and foremost, I think we got to take the batteries out of the demented little fucking our
That's
car.
right. That's
Like
right.
that thing needs to go because you don't know that thing could be going into Zoe's room. That could be going any which way you want, brother.
Yep.
And also, like, there is the one you got your normal, regular, degular Saturday night security system. Charlie can have that when he comes back from baseball. He puts in his birthday.
Your cute little ADT security system.
But Purge night is for dad only.
Right.
Yep.
That's
One
it.
dude with the code. Because you're right. That would solve all of this.
Yes.
And blessed there would be no movie.
That would be nice. I would prefer that.
The kid's asking, like, Mom and Dad, like, why don't you participate in the Purge? And they're like, well, if we felt the urge to do so, maybe we would do something about it, but we're holier than thou and don't have to, but the Purge saved our country. And it's like, all right, so you are like kind of brainwashed, but like,
yes,
I guess not all, because that's what the
They're
weird
moderates. They're centrists.
Yeah, I see.
Well, I mean, again, that's the thing, right? Is like all this movie can come up with, as we've been having quite a lot of fun talking about already. There's no alternatives. The only crime that they can come up with is murder in this movie.
And you're a serial killer, creepy fuck murder,
Yeah.
or
Right.
nothing.
Like stabbing a kid and licking the blood off the knife kind of
Well,
shit.
because we're coming right off the end of torture porn era.
Yes,
this
for
is
sure.
right
Sure.
the
Yeah.
last one, really. And actually, the changeover between this and the other Purge movies is kind of shows that distinction. And like we're getting more towards action mixed with horror is a bigger thing. And also, I mean, we never get there quite, but like prestige horror talking about trauma. The first Purge does feed into a lot of that stuff.
Of course it does.
And
Let's
I mean, it
lock
does
that up.
it does it better than most. I would
I've
say.
been purging because I cried that one time.
No. I mean, like what people go through on the first Purge that made them want to.
Oh, I could see that.
get
I could see like if I have a rough purge night.
Yeah.
Oh, look out,
Yes.
neighbors.
Stuff like that, and like, but like this is just like you're watching people like, and I'm saying this, and like it's not even doing the torture porn right.
It doesn't. No,
None of it is like interesting or like cruel in any way.
Well, we are sure to shove a knife in this black man's wound.
Sure, that one.
I'll tell you what, Chris Cavan, there's one fellow that gets tortured quite a bit in this movie, and it's going to shock you as to which one.
It was the letter opener, which is fine.
Oh, a letter opener. Oh,
Yes.
pardon me. Pardon me.
It's allowed. It's Purge night.
May I
Andrew.
be purged the next day. Oh, wait, I actually have another question about the Purge, by the way.
Oh, please.
And maybe the sequels
yes.
get into the logistics a little more.
Mhm.
Are we dealing with time zones?
That's a great
Oh.
question.
It's a joke in one of them.
Oh, is that
You
right?
could drive
But I
across
don't
them.
think they really do anything with it. They just like somebody has an offhand
Because
joke.
like California Purge, you know,
New York's been going on for fucking 3 hours.
3
already.
hours,
Right.
right?
Well, that's I
yeah.
mean, I always think of when that stuff comes up. I think of the Gremlins 2 joke about that because they literally in the thing they're like, well, what about time zones? If he eats food at this point, or
That's
Right,
right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could just.
You could do a road trip movie going through all the time zones.
Dude, that's what it is. We got to get to the next time zone where the
Yeah.
Purge hasn't started yet, or where it's over.
Yeah, I'm
You know, we're
just
driving
getting
east.
started. Yeah.
I feel like, by the way, all time zones, this and that. I feel like Hawaii and Alaska just don't do the Purge. Like,
Really?
you guys want to just not do it? Like,
Yeah, that's
no
like
one's-
that's for them continental fuckers.
Lower
I don't know
48.
what they passed that law. That's fucking weird. You want to just not do it?
Yeah,
I mean, Hawaii specifically, they've already had a few purges there. They're not exactly named
Alaska
that.
seems like they'd have fun with it. You know?
Probably,
With,
yeah.
like, helicopters, like instead of just shooting wolves, you can shoot like people.
Yeah, and it's spookier too because it's all that open area. You know,
Yeah.
I
There's
could see
probably
that.
werewolves and Bigfoots up there.
That would be an interesting
Spooky
way
as
if we're going
hell.
to try to revitalize the series. Like, get it out there where it is sparser. You get to have a moodier setting at least.
Well, do we have like? Is there
Purge
any?
Juno is what we're talking about.
Well, no,
Yes,
like any
yeah,
notion
yeah.
of a it's someone who's going to legally kill someone and then make a phone call on a cheeseburger phone.
The moldy
Purge
peaches.
Juno.
Yeah, I think you meant the city. In
I meant
Alaska.
city
Oh,
of
Juneau, Alaska.
Okay,
Excuse
you know, let's say
me.
Fairbanks.
No, is there any indication ever of like the Purge is going global?
I think that I was reading some Wikipedia nonsense
Yes.
that they might want to do that in the future. Like, because obviously,
You know
else
what? How about not?
What else are you going to do with this stupid
Yeah, you
idea?
gotta keep doing it.
Well,
Gotta
I don't know,
expand.
Jason Voorhees pretty much for the most part stuck to Crystal Lake for the better of those movies. So you know,
But we don't allow. I mean, we don't even get to do that anymore. Like, is Terrifier the version of that? I
What?
guess. Like, don't do the same thing with the killer. Just slightly change the. Like, we just don't do that
Full
anymore.
on slasher.
Yeah.
yeah,
like,
Yeah,
I
it's a
don't know,
shame.
man. That I'll never see that Terrifier 2. That first one was
Horrible
more
movies.
than enough.
Horrible.
More than enough. So whatever. Lockdown starts.
Lockdown starts, and everybody kind of like it's this weird thing where, like, again, I do feel like it should be a panic room situation. We're all in this. You know what, dude?
Yeah.
We'll all be here. I want to just make sure everybody's safe. I know we got a security system. We got a big room here. We'll watch some movies. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna curate the DVD playlist for Purge
Exactly.
night.
Oh,
So
fun.
Charlie wants to watch Shrek, and then we'll watch Mean Girls for Zoe, and then Mom and Dad will watch. But like,
Surviving the game. Just kidding.
a little triggering.
Man, you're just fucking getting killed in the street, and you just hear "Now I'm a believer" from the fucking house.
I'm taking a shit. Oh yeah. Well, I'm getting murdered. Shrek. How
Oh,
about that?
I'm bleeding out. Thank you, donkey.
I hope you guys are having a great time watching your Shrek DVD. Your last words. Meanwhile, Lena Headey, this
Yes.
stunned me. She serves dinner, to her family. And there's some joke about like, oh, there's no carbs in this. She's drinking wine. She's drinking like 2 glasses of wine.
Good for her.
And then she gets on the treadmill. I was like, what's gonna happen to her,
yeah.
man? Like,
Yeah.
she's gonna yak.
Speaking of Purge.
Yeah.
She's just an alcoholic. You
Yeah,
know, that
that's
just
fine.
gets her started.
Well, speaking of that, I think she also probably just wants to die. I mean, if you're putting all this inside you and like seeing this day to day, I would kind of want to die.
Because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
also kind of an interesting thing
I'd be so loaded on Purge night. You don't want to know.
Oh, so loaded.
You
but
wouldn't
then
even
that's
know
the thing.
you're being murdered.
Exactly.
Like you think you're going to the bathroom. Some guy stabbing your dick off you.
Sir, could you be afraid right now? What?
Yeah.
I'm getting stabbed by a guy to go, that's Andrew, is that you? Does Andrew usually kill you? I don't know.
Oh, you think you can take me, huh?
It's not fun if he's not good. He's not scared at all.
I think this is a great strategy, being blackout drunk on Purge night. You would just walk the street, maybe you'd be too far gone. People would leave you alone, maybe.
I mean, it's the easiest fucking thing in the world. I get that. But like, have one of them be addicted to pills or something. Like something to show that, like, yes, actually this stuff is eating away at them.
Yes.
And not just in the class way, in like personal way.
Yeah, if mom's doing rails in the bathroom, that's kind of an interesting thing, right? You know what I mean? Like,
but it's what's annoying though is like she has some spiel to the kid about why it is good or whatever.
Yes.
That is why I think it's around when he asks like, why don't you participate in it? And it's like, you can't have, like, it should be a thing where it's like, no, we don't say this outside of this house, but this is really fucked up and wrong. And your father and I don't agree with it. And yes, we do make a lot of money off of it, but you settle that out on your own time.
There's some people in this country, honey, you do not want to meet. Like that kind of a thing. So very quickly, Zoe goes up to her room and Henry is there.
Uh-oh.
And I thought for a second, because I'd never seen this movie before. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's going to be a thing where like the dads try to kick Henry out, but you can't because how could you kick somebody out during the Purge? I thought that was
Purge night, tenant rights, you squatters rights. I mean.
Exactly. But no, he's like, I came here, Zoe. I wanted to talk to your dad. And like, she's like, I don't know if it's going to be it's going to be a great idea.
And it's so stupid. You're like, you can see it a mile away. Just like, oh, really? You waited till Purge night to hide in the house to make sure you're locked in and you're just going to talk to the guy.
What is his plan here? So I'm going to kill her dad.
Yep.
And then like the mom's going to be like, yay. And like she's going to, then Zoe's going to give you a blowjob and then we'll have a great fucking weekend.
You got to build this up. Like you got to have, there's dialogue of like, like all those classic beautiful stories about people who like, the boyfriend will kill the
Badlands? You mean?
Badlands. Yes, of course. You got to do, build that up. So
that could be something, right? Where it's like they have a conversation about like, yeah, they are in on it. And she's like, I hate my dad so much.
Yes.
He's trying to keep me away from it. And like, if she's like sick in the head like that too, that's at least a thing in a movie.
No, but she's in a schoolgirl outfit the entire movie. She's just
no personality.
Innocent young girl. She's property, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
it's she's a fucking couch in this movie.
No, I prefer the Your Next scheme.
A couch with knee-high stockings on. Oh,
the entire time. Oh, man.
12 straight hours of looking like a schoolgirl.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense that she's still wearing it. Oh God.
Oh yeah. Actually, no. That skirt is a little too long. Thanks. Just a little. All right. That's what I had in my head.
Perfect.
Yeah, there we go. That's Purge appropriate attire, honey.
But so that's what's going on. Mom's working out, and meanwhile, there's a commotion in the road. And this is when we see the bloody stranger.
And it's kind of an interesting reveal. Is like the little boy's watching the television sets. And you just see a guy running down the street on the camera.
Kind of like a jump scare almost, yeah.
Yeah, and like he's clearly being chased or whatever. And you're like, all right, like let's get ready to get eerie.
Yes,
and then it's like kind of the last time that happens almost.
He starts screaming out, is somebody gonna help me? Oh my God, they're chasing me. I can't, I'm not gonna make it, blah, blah, blah. You have to help me. And this little kid goes, and again, the code should not have this code.
He just beep boop bops this thing in. Like it's not the first time he's even entered the number. Like maybe it's a thing where like you have a quick shot of him like rustling through Ethan Hawke's desk or something, and he finds like a piece of paper in the back of a drawer, and it's like, let's try this, and he beep boop bops, and then it opened.
That would be something. But what you have to do is you got to drug your children on Purge night, right?
Yes.
Put them into like not like a full coma, but like a good heavy
some
sedation.
Robitussin, nothing crazy.
What are they going
Just
to do?
some tussin, yeah.
Ooh, mom's gonna make her famous Purge night soup, guys.
Exactly.
It's gonna be great.
You can't investigate it. It's legal on Purge night to drug your family.
Yeah. What's that thing that's in turkey and red wine? Tryptophan.
Get
exactly. You got to drug your kids
just a little bit
too.
because this kid probably beforehand was just once he got the code. he was letting that barrier up just to let like stray cats in.
Yeah.
Just like in the middle of the night.
Oh, Houdini might get that guy, Mom. Beep, boop, bop.
We don't need more victims out there.
What are you
okay?
doing, Charlie? Now Houdini's after us.
He's gonna get in. The security system isn't made for Houdini.
You know what he's done with all the animals in the house, like our cats and dogs? We're animals too, Charlie. We're animals too.
I didn't know that fellow living person here would hide my property in there with y'all.
Fellow living person.
Why don't y'all let me in there and have my property back so I can fuck that cat? Why don't you just let me fuck my cat? I wanted to fuck my cat, and then you just let him in there.
You took my cat. If you don't let me in by the time my friend shows up with his tools, I'm gonna fuck your whole family. That's right.
I hope
you don't want me fucking your whole family.
Do you have a goldfish? I'll do it to him too.
I'm gonna come right in that fish tank if you don't let me in there right now.
I'll come in the fish tank and I'll actually fuck the fish. I'll see if that works. Probably won't.
I see right behind you. You got a little urn. I'm gonna come in your grandma's urn. That's what I'm gonna do. It's purge night, baby.
And just you try to catch me. I got a new layer of grease on me.
Well, if he can get to it, he earned it. So.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Excellent.
So while this dude runs into the house and pretty quickly just vanishes into the house.
It's a big house, Andrew, I guess.
Know. I keep forgetting it's a big house,
We
Steve.
we don't know where he went. The house is a labyrinth.
I live in a goddamn maze, all right?
It is. I mean, you could.
I need Jareth the Goblin King to direct me to the refrigerator. That's how big the house is.
It's the purge with the power.
Did you bribe the Minotaur or not? That was what you're supposed to do to get to the bathroom.
Honey, I can't find my sack of coins to cross the basement river.
Oh, no, it's the fire gang.
It's just, he's just gone.
He's just gone into the house. And at the same time, this is when this boyfriend chooses to strike. And he comes out the room and he's got a gun and he shoots at Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke, no questions asked, blasts this kid right in the stomach.
Oh, yeah, you got to do it. There's no other choice, right?
The problem with Ethan Hawke is every choice that he makes is totally logical in the position that he's in. You know what I mean? Even when he's like going to give this guy up for his family, like, I don't know, 88% of people would probably do that. You know what I mean? Like,
probably.
I don't know. Oh my God, this guy I don't know versus my entire family getting murdered in the most horrible way. I'd probably do that. Like, there's no real like stakes if all of the decisions are that easy. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I killed a kid. It's like, yeah, he shot at you first. You know what I mean? As opposed to like, oh, that little fucking shithead. It's purge night, baby. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. He's a good person despite.
Yeah, I mean, you want to keep your protagonists likable or whatever.
Sure, yeah,
but
sure.
I mean, just throw them out in the fucking, outside. You're fine. Nobody's going to come asking questions.
Dude, it would be like Vulcan logic, man. It's just straight up the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Get the fuck out of here, bloody stranger.
Exactly. It's pretty an easy decision to make.
Yeah. So yeah, this kid goes up, like collapses in the daughter's bedroom or whatever, and dies. And then this is where I realized this stupid like habit they were gonna have with the house here, because he says to like, I think it's like Lena Headey and the son, he's like, all right, you guys stay here. I have to go find Zoe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll give you a clue, Ethan Hawke. She's in the house still.
That's the problem. It's too big.
I have the tracker on her. Okay. So she's in quadrant 5. We're going to have to make it. We'll go to the basement through the tunnels.
Boop, 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 boop,
He's coming right up for us.
Honey, all right, I'm gonna go. You find Zoe. I'll find the stranger. And honestly, you were right. This is too much house. This is actually, it's too much house. It's honestly, now that I'm realizing it, now that there are multiple people hiding and we cannot find them, it's just too much house. You were right.
You were right. We did not need that addition. This is embarrassing.
Do you want to check the attic apartment? Because I could do that, but I feel weird about
it. Is the
it.
Fawn still living up there?
Son of a bitch.
So yeah, he...
2 solariums.
Yeah. Well, one of those Cunningham boys went missing on a purge night, right?
Yeah, Chuck Cunningham, dude. He went upstairs and got purged. Never came back down.
Again,
they purged him right from that show. Ham, the little sister from Boy Meets World, she got the axe.
Oh, really? Wow. Purge
Judy
nights.
from Family Matters got purged. I think she came back, but she was purged for a while.
She was purged, and I think when she came back, it may have been a different person.
Yeah.
Not the woman who got wrapped up in some low-rent pornography.
Oops.
Yeah, that happened. It was a big oops. Yeah, so whatever. That guy's dead. We're trying to find bloody stranger in the house or whatever. Zoe winds up it's like a friggin' open door farce here.
It is.
Ethan Hawke's like, I gotta go find Zoe. He runs out. Zoe runs into the room like, Mom, I can't believe it. Henry's dead or whatever it is. And she's like, did you see your father out there? And it's like, why? No, I didn't. I was like, come on.
Because she's afraid. She thinks, I guess, like, she's just like, A, traumatized by the death of her boyfriend, but B, I think she thinks she's in trouble, I guess, is her motivation for the rest of the movie.
You're not getting in trouble, baby. No, it's the Purge.
So she's just like, Mom, I gotta go. And like, I don't know, if I'm Lena Headey, I'm putting this girl in a headlock. I don't hit my kids except on Purge night. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, hit them and drug them.
But yeah, I gotta go find him. And did you see him out there? It's all so stupid. It really is. So anyway, while all this is going on, the little boy is like, hey, I've been watching the monitor outside. This gang of weirdos is coming up to the house.
Yes.
And one of the biggest mistakes this movie makes, as it pathetically attempts to be scary in any way, is these freaks walk up to the door and they've got like douchebag masks on or whatever.
Puppet looking masks.
Yeah.
Closer to puppet. Yeah.
Closer than a douchebag. You're right.
I mean, there's two masks underneath the mask.
Yes. But like the crucial mistake is the leader takes the mask off from the jump. And I'm like, all right, well, they're just people under there and it's not really that scary anymore. So,
well, it's to tell you, like, this not Michael Pitt can fucking, any person you walk down the street can do it.
Your mention of Funny Games was good because it's like the clean cut, preppy kid, like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Even him?
Even him? What? He's going to break the narrative? What?
Yeah. And he knows people that have equipment, which is arriving. We'll get to it in 30 minutes.
Ill-defined equipment. Like
it's Earl's van with the chain, essentially.
Yeah.
It's all it takes. And I mean, like, the thing is, like, I don't understand, like, okay, yeah, it's Purge night. You know, we love to purge, but we're going to be eerie about it. Then, like, the girls are on the swings, and it's like, oh, man, isn't that eerie?
Yeah.
It's like, what is this?
What purpose are they serving right here?
Again, in The Strangers, it made sense. It was just 3 people, and they were torturing 2 people, and the whole point was to terrify and eventually murder them. And that's the whole movie, and that's what's so fucking
I think I read something about the Purge having, like, since it's a yearly event, it sort of became like Halloween. It'd be fun to dress up on that night, which I think maybe the director had said in some interview. I'm not too sure.
You got to put that in your movie, man. I'm sorry. Otherwise, it doesn't. That's out of bounds. That doesn't count. If you have to tell me after the fact. It would make more sense
to tell me stuff like that than tell me that government officials ranking class 10
like something that doesn't come into play in the movie at all, so it doesn't matter. You're totally right.
No, I mean, I just
I'm the New Jersey governor, thank you very much. Like, what?
I'm already doing crimes.
That's the senator. And that's
Bob Menendez is like, I gotta use the night I can put more gold bars in my mattress.
Are you purging your gold bars? Because I'll take those.
Honey, start sewing all those cash wads into the comforters.
No, it's Cuba's fault I did it.
Yeah,
it was on Purge night. It's Cuba's fault I did it. Sorry,
but so if it's like Halloween, like my wife and I think a lot of people, like, you know, the whole month of October, we get really into Halloween. We'll watch horror movies all month.
Sure.
So for like in the month of March, would I be watching a bunch of snuff films all month long? Getting geared up.
So it's 8mm, 8mm 2.
Zoo, the documentary.
You count Videodrome, I assume.
Yeah.
Videodrome, Hardcore with George C. Scott.
Also that,
anything that dabbles on the periphery of like snuff potentiality. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, you get those in there. That's a letterbox list someone's going to make.
Zapruder film. There's a lot. There's a
Henry
lot.
Portrait of a Serial Killer, just to kind of, I mean, it's almost there.
Great
Bud
movie.
Dwyer video, of course, another classic of the genre.
Hey, moron, it's November. What are you shooting at me for?
It's not too much.
You're, get a calendar, fuckface.
What is all this Manhattan clam chowder doing in my lap? Oh. Whoop.
Oh, boy.
Whoop.
Can someone tell that jerk off up there what month it is?
Oh, my God. Because it was November 22nd.
It was.
Right?
It was
and this is
indeed.
in March 22nd.
Yeah, you got to just wait 4 more months and you can kill
just a
Kennedy.
calendar mix-up. Yeah, classic.
It's just a real
thing.
calendar snafu there.
Yes,
Whoops, misread the calendar, you see.
It seems the shooter who took the president's life had a spooky mask on.
Looked like a doll almost. But to your point, Chris, about like, oh, it's to show that like there's people underneath or whatever. To toss that another way, like the strangers, there's never any doubt that they're just people.
Yes.
And they keep that shit on the whole time, and it stays eerie because of that.
Yeah, I think that's just a difference of making the stamp. Like the strangers, it's not so much about the society at large. In this, it is. So seeing people's face is a point of it.
Sure.
As compared to that, where it's like, you're in the middle of fucking nowhere with Liv Tyler, and you have these three weirdos
and
coming
Glenn
in.
Howerton gets that shotgun right to the jaw.
It's a beautiful time.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
You know, I've seen that movie one time.
Yeah.
And it was when you and I saw it at Union Square.
It was a rowdy crowd that night. It was fun.
Dude, well, it was
a packed house, Chris.
It was a rowdy crowd for that movie.
Well, here's why. Here's why. I don't know if we told the story on the air before.
They do, yeah.
But the weekend that first Strangers movie came out was the same weekend that the first Sex and the City movie came out.
Yes.
And what happened,
Yes.
Eric and I were sitting in the theater, and what happened was clearly there were sold out shows of Sex and the City.
Yeah.
And all these girls that came dressed up as the characters.
Yes, they were dressed like Sex and the City ladies.
They got shut out, and it was like, we're going to the Purge, I guess. So we're sitting in front of like a bunch of Samanthas and whatnot. And they were like, I guess, just so keyed in for that movie that they were overly excited.
They were afraid of the strangers.
Dude,
they were jumping out of their seats.
I mean, it's a scary movie, but they were like screaming, kicking the shit out of our seats.
They were probably a little drunk, which maybe we were too. I
Sure.
mean, it was
they had a couple
fun
too many
night.
Cosmos before the movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to see another scary movie, and
That's
you get
right.
shut out of that one.
That's right.
Sorry, sir. Yes, it is the Alamo Draft House. You can use you put your light down. He's allowed to talk. It's the Purge night. We are open on Purge night. And yes, they're allowed to talk back at the screening. You'll notice that gentleman just entered in. This movie's been going for 45 minutes. He just showed up.
Dude, the false narrative that those people will do anything about talking in the theater. Give me a break.
Now, he might also blow your head off. That's also possible. If you get strangled during this, that is on you
Hey,
and
you
the
got
person.
brains in my queso. So whatever. That's
$2 extra.
It's a movie party.
Oh yeah.
Yes, a dialogue.
You know what you can do with those.
That's no better way for me not to show up to a repertory screening.
Yep. Oh,
is
yeah,
the two words movie party.
Yep. I will stay right at home. That's almost as bad as being out during the Purge, going to a fucking movie party.
That's one thing I don't want to party with. I'm fine.
So this fucking Heath Ledger knockoff guy here, he is Australian, this fella.
This actor that's the freak, the lead freak.
Yeah,
they
lead
cast
freak.
him because his eerie smile.
I think he's actually pretty good in terms. Look, if there's any performance to praise or even to hold on to, it has to be his because nobody does anything else.
Here's how I'm holding on to it, dude.
Okay,
right.
sure.
So this performance is like an arm outstretched to me as I hang off of a cliff.
Yes.
And I'm slowly sliding down this dude's like hoodie arm. You know what I mean?
No, totally.
I am just barely holding on to this dude as a character. And it's all this like, oh, hello there. Our target escaped us and might be in your. And he's got this like shit-eating smile.
Yeah.
And like, I get it, but it just.
It's a lot. It's
something
a lot.
about it just because like everything else is so like reserved and they're downplaying everything. Even when the kid like comes out of the room trying to kill Ethan Hawke, it's not like as cartoonish as this guy.
Yes.
And I'm like, hey man, I know it's the Purge and everything's legal and whatnot, but this performance is against the law. Dial it back.
And the women are in like baby doll dresses doing cartwheels. They're going la la la.
Right.
eerie.
And I read this was like Manson family inspired.
Sure.
Hey, cool.
Which
But that's like the thing is that they don't ever do that would help all of this is to discuss the artifice. Like if you watch these guys watch those movies or like read Manson or anything like that to suggest that they are purposefully putting on a show.
There are opportunities that the beginning of the movie has for that, but instead they choose to have because like Ethan Hawke is watching, like I think he like pours himself a drink and he's like watching a television special, and it's like, the Purge was designed to stamp out America's rage problem. Or like, leave that stuff out of it and put in like, the Purge is so successful that people have Purge parties and people have Purge costumes and blah, blah, blah.
Who's going to outdo who this week?
It just feels like every other scene is missing or something. Like
Sorry, Jack. You didn't check your calendar. That was 3:21, baby. You gotta let me go. Me and my friends are gonna get skate. We killed those piggies, but it's 3:21. It was 3:21.
Oh no, I showed up a day early to the Purge party. That's something. That's a fun thing. Now I'm being arrested for carrying a machete in the street or something. That's it. Would you be safe in lockup? Like if you got arrested the day before the
Great
Purge,
question. Yeah.
Or would they just say like riot? You guys riot.
Riot as
have
much as you
fun.
want. I mean, they
Just
throw
open the-
knives at you for fun, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Take
maybe.
bets. That's another cool movie.
That could be something, right?
Purge in Cell Block 61 or something like that.
Purge the big house.
Ooh, Purge colon the big house. I like that, dude. Yeah, it's just an 85-minute hardcore prison riot.
Yeah.
You can do it.
You get who's your best friend there, Chris? You like all
S.
his
Craig
movies.
Zoller.
Oh, Zoller, get him on there, baby.
Yeah.
He'll do it. Why not?
He'll do it. And he'll
That
do a good
movie
job.
Is practically that already. I guess. Yeah. Brawl on Cell Block 99.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
I do like the moment where there's like the number 2 guy who's like screaming at the door, like, give us back our pig, blah, 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 like whatever. And like this leader just shoots that guy in the head.
Yeah.
And he's like, that guy was my friend. So you can see how aggravated I am about all this. Like, that's actually kind of an okay.
Yeah, he's like,
delivery.
imagine
that
what I'm
sounds
going to
fine.
do to your fucking family. And again, like, Ethan Hawke, this is not a moral dilemma. It's like, of course I'm going to throw this guy out. These people are psychopathic killers that are going to kill myself and my family.
The real question is like, what would even happen if you open that door, right? Like, are they just going to be, they're
going to be chill about it? Yeah,
they could still come in,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because the guy tries to frame it as like, you can trust me because like
I'm a white
we're
guy.
affluent and educated, and
yes.
you're affluent and educated, and we just want to kill this homeless pig.
Yeah.
We're not going to do nothing. And like, honestly, it's probably true.
Yeah.
And until he says like, you have such and such time, and then we're coming in and all bets are off if we have to come in. Once Jerry gets here with his van and that chain I've been telling you about.
I mean, this is me blatantly going against Steve on this one. The thing is I don't feel like this performance does anything for me.
Sure.
Like, it doesn't feel eerie. Like, the killing the friend just like that. In a better movie, I'd be like, holy fucking shit, this guy means business.
Yeah.
In this, I'm just like, he's just a kid doing the kid thing.
Yeah.
And like, if you want to make that the point, that's cool. Lean into it.
Yeah.
But that's not, they're like trying to make him a Michael Pitt-esque character where he's like haunting and like detached and like staring at you and being bratty.
Ultimately, you need more time with these people to
Yes,
understand
that's right.
any of them.
Yes.
And what if it was a thing where we were just in a van with all those people as they were driving around? They see our bloody stranger friend there.
Yeah.
You get their perspective of like, the hunt is on, or whatever.
Sure.
That is again what they do in the other ones.
They fix
They
it.
do all this.
Did
stuff.
did this Staten Island wunderkind write some of these sequels?
He wrote all of them, apparently.
I think he's heavily involved.
Did he write all of them?
Yeah.
I think so.
So
Well, I guess someone got him like a storytelling tutor or something. If these sequels are that much better,
because the rest of the movie is just Ethan Hawke on horseback with a lantern trying to find this guy in his house. It's like, is he in the living room?
dude, I thought I was watching the others. But this is the part, right? So he goes, the guy's like, please just let us purge.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and he's like, cut the power. And I'm like, but you just said he's got to find him in the house. Why would you do that? Why would you make it harder if you want to like successfully be able to purge this guy by the end of the night?
It's just a threatening move. Like, this shows we mean business type of thing.
Meanwhile, Zoe runs into Charlie's little robot there, which is so stupid. She's like, Charlie, I'm going to go in your hiding spot. But Charlie just put the other guy in the hiding spot.
We have, dude, it is like watching paint dry. This sequence where this kid is trying to use his little remote car to
Morse code or whatever.
To say to the guy, like, come on, like, get him to like follow me, follow this creepy ass RC car. And like, here's one of the things I think you were talking about with like pseudo future shit.
Yeah.
This kid's got like Brett the Hitman Hart sunglasses on,
exactly.
and there's like, I guess you're supposed to believe there's a camera in there and you're seeing the camera from the car.
Sure, yeah.
Dumb city. Dumb city.
But then now it's this little kid's fault. It's Charlie. It's double it's your fault that your dad's going to be dead. Remember that always.
Yep.
And two, it's your fault that your sister gets a gun pointed at her head because you fucked around and you found out, Charlie.
Yep. I mean, what have you learned? Oh, your dad works in security. Purge night's a big fucking deal. You don't open the door.
It's somewhere around here too, where Ethan Hawke says to Lena Headey, like, our systems weren't designed. What is the line? It's like, our systems weren't designed for this. He says, this system isn't built for worst case scenarios. Yeah. And then follows it up with, things like this don't happen in our neighborhood. And I'm like, okay, I get it. But like, if indeed crime is legal all over the country, you have to then also, if things like that don't happen in this neighborhood, you have to show me why this year things are happening in this neighborhood.
It's also such a funny moment because it's like, that's where security is always the tightest, is the rich neighborhood. It's not like the neighborhood that has high crime has tons of security systems.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, totally.
And I mean, if to your point, if they did, the point is you should be telling me how stupid Ethan Hawke is.
Yeah.
And you only do that a little bit. I needed a lot to
because he's also got to turn. He's got to turn into the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's no time for both of that.
And he shouldn't. I think the better tactic would even to have Ethan Hawke become the villain by now.
Yeah, like he kills the guy or whatever.
Yeah, so, that makes more sense.
So he now Zoe's held hostage, and then Ethan Hawke, again, he does something that has to be reasonable, which it shouldn't be reasonable. But he's like, this guy's got a gun to my daughter. I'm going to take him down, in quotation marks. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, but then they start to, then the letter opener is where it gets a little weird. I don't even know what the point of the letter opener is. Like, put the letter opener in his wound. And Lena Headey's like, what? He's like, just do it. It's
so like make him like
pliable
to resist, to
stop resisting.
Weaker,
because they're trying to tie him to the chair.
Convince
at that
him
point.
to be tied to the chair by torturing him.
Yes. That's the idea. And like, that's the thing is, if you can't do all that, I get the ambition of it, but you're asking too much for then this to be like within 5 minutes of putting a fucking letter opener through his thigh wound. He's like, haven't we gone too far?
Exactly.
Haven't we all just gone to, hasn't society gone too far?
Look at us. Whoa. Wow. I've learned a lesson.
I'm my father. Fuck.
He has this whole thing. Because around here, the fella like comes out of the crawl space or whatever, and he's got a gun to the Zoe's head. And then Ethan Hawke comes up and he's like, I don't want to kill you, but it's like me or you or my family, and this is just the way it's going to be. I'm sorry. I'm not a killer, like yada, yada, yada. You get this whole spiel here, which is also just not great.
No.
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand what what opinion this movie wants you to have about this Ethan Hawke character.
Exactly. In this moment. Like, what is he, what is the moral thing to do in this moment?
The way his character just hems and haws about, he's supposed to be like I guess it's you. It's like, I'm a centrist. Oh, well, I don't know how I'm going to handle this situation. But that's not interesting.
I'm a white male, age 18 to 45. Everybody cares what I think.
Exactly, yeah.
But like, so Zoe runs away, and like Ethan Hawke, what is it? He nails this dude in the head with like an ashtray or something. That's what sort of gets things moving.
And now Zoe's gone again. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, put a bell on this girl.
Lost in the Skinamarink house again.
And we're just, here we go. And this is where the movie's doing what it's going to do. We are just duct taping this dude up and tying him to a chair.
Sure.
Right.
We're sticking letter openers in his fucking wound to teach him a lesson about compliance. I don't know.
And then it's like, well, we're going to, and I think Lena Headey's like, this is going too far. And he's like, wait, you're right.
But right before that, there's like, do it, Mary. There's a really great, like, Ethan Hawke screaming, do it, Mary, do it.
That's what my dad used to say to my mom, do it, Mary. And I never wanted to be that guy.
And, because Lena Headey's like, look at this man. Look what we're doing to him.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's wrong. It's so wrong. And then, like, again, we're pulling the Skinamarink house. The little boy just runs off into the night. I can't take it.
And this is when they realize, like, no, we're going to fight back. Here, take your gun. He tells Charlie to go in the basement or something.
Oh, right. He does tell him to run away. Yeah. Oh, he also in this moment says he says something like, oh, it's going to be all right, Zoe. We just got to do this, get this guy out of here. And she goes, look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to be okay ever again. And then she wanders off into the night.
Yeah.
Yes, Charlie, just go to the deluxe suite in the basement. next to the solarium.
Yeah, take the monorail to the basement, and then
remember to change trains at the next station.
Oh, and pay the train man. We've been late on his payments for a long time now.
I have no idea how far this train goes. When it comes back, though, it's got snow on it.
Oh, you know what? We have some of those gold bars from Menendez. Get them over to the train man. He needs them. He'll be able to.
Needs gold bars.
Man, Bob Menendez would be great on Purge Night. Also, the Menendez brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they had a Purge night of their own, did they
sure
not?
did.
Just let the if there's a parents' conference somewhere, just let them loose.
Not a parent-teacher conference.
No.
Just a
Parents,
parents
conference.
conference.
Hanging out, talking about parenting.
Parents talking.
At one point, the bloody stranger's like, you know what? I am sick and tired of being in this house with all of you fucked up people. Yeah, just let me out there.
Yes.
He's like, save your family. You're right. I want to get this movie over.
I want to
with.
die.
Send me out
I would
there.
like to die. Please
Yeah.
kill me now.
But then it's like
too late.
It's a time's up thing. Jerry's here with the chain or whatever to knock the gate down. And so they gotta come in. What's the guy say? He's like, "Dear Mr. and Mrs., you failed to produce the homeless swine. Release the beast, boys. Let the killing commence." It's just so dumb.
It's a little medieval timesy.
Yeah, totally. I think I should have a big turkey leg in his hand.
And speaking of, I mentioned your next earlier. This would be so much better if they got in there and didn't know jack shit.
Yes,
about what,
yes.
like they try to shoot the gun and they go back several feet.
Right.
Like the guy tries to fight somebody, he just doesn't throw a punch at all.
That would be kind of
Ethan
awesome.
Hawke has a fucking haymaker and actually can do it. Like,
Sure.
that was what made a slasher like your next so interesting, is because it's people. You're actually fighting people.
Exactly.
They're not super people. They're not super fascists. You found
Right.
They're just little kids who want to be violent.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck, that's a good movie. Now I'm just thinking
It
about
is a
that.
good
Thanks
movie.
a
such
lot.
a good movie. Love that movie.
But yeah, so this is now it just turns into a home invasion movie. Lena Headey's got a gun. They've got Ethan Hawke's got a super gun.
He's got a super gun, and the super gun is revealed, I think, right here, because there's a moment where one of the freaks is about to kill this kid, and I'm like, oh, do it.
Yeah.
Oh, soil the floor of this laundry room. Do it right now. And as soon as this guy's, I think he actually literally has an axe that he's going to bring down on the kid or something. All of a sudden, his chest just starts exploding, and he drops down, and you see Ethan Hawke with this super gun, and I'm like, well, that's a different character than the last scene.
Yep.
And here's the thing. The way that you get that character to turn into that, I mean, it's another trope, so it's kind of annoying, but you need something to actually light this spark, not just an edit, right?
Yeah.
Is like
Houdini getting in there.
oh, hey, y'all. No! No, if Lena Headey is killed by one of the guys.
Sure, yeah.
And then he's like, nah. And then he's got to turn to fucking Rambo mode because he's got a dead wife.
Yeah, sure,
whatever.
blah, blah, blah. But
that's at least something. But just out of nowhere, I know we saw that gun closet, but this is some precision, cold-blooded. This dude has no problem with this.
And the only way to get out of the situation is to be the good guy with a gun, by the way, which isn't exactly a great political statement. He does get one of the creepy girls jumps at him and she gets annihilated by the super gun,
which is pretty good.
There's one guy gets him and they're fighting and he uses a pool ball, not a cue, a pool ball.
Yeah,
what do they call that? A billiards ball.
Billiards ball.
Uses that to smash his head, and then that guy hits him with the cue.
Yes.
You got to be
That's
pissed
fun.
if it's. Can we
A
get
lot
out
of
the-
axes in that scene.
Guys, real quick. Can we just get out of the game room real quick? I just got this the way I like it. The pool table.
Yeah.
Just came on Monday. I mean,
Oh, great. There's blood all over the Simpsons arcade tower. That's fantastic.
Gonna have to get that leveled again. Yep, had it perfect, but nope. Fuck it.
Do you think you get Purge insurance cover
Great
some of these
question.
damages?
I think that probably exists.
It's probably pretty pricey though. Honestly.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but you can afford it. You're doing so well at work.
Level 10 and up, I think, Eric. It's pretty pricey.
It was Purge insurance fraud, but the fraud was committed during the Purge, so I guess it's fine. Here's your rebate.
By the way, imagine, you think there's a lot of them now. Imagine the amount of GoFundMe campaigns.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Oh.
If the Purge was real.
Yes, dude.
You know?
Oh, the Purge burned down my house.
Yeah. Let me, funeral bills are piling up.
I mean, the earth is on fire if this is actually happening. Everything is
Well, the
dead.
earth is on fire.
The
Chris.
idea that the Purge and then crime is non-existent. is no. You know when crime is at its highest? The night after the purge. Because like you killed my dad and I'm fucking sore about it.
Dude, revenge night.
Yeah,
it's like Boxing Day.
No. Wait till next year.
All right. Oh, I'm gonna hold on.
Like a revenge Santa Claus.
Well, then again, like we're just talking about things that would make this better, but like then you have to up the day before we see the day before, and it's a fucking police state for real.
Exactly.
Like you have
It would have to be.
checkpoints everywhere.
Yep. Yeah.
And
like,
the day after too, they would come in and sweep in
huge military masks and helmets.
Death squads in the street. Like if you're out after purge night, you're getting shot in the fucking head.
And that's what like those radio reports that you hear as like the credits roll, like kind of try to do. Like there's that guy that's like, both of my boys got murdered last night. This country's taken everything from me. I'll never purge again.
Well, that's, of course, I mean, we've all been to film school. The first thing they tell you is put your most interesting thing over your credits.
Yep, that's right.
That's the smartest thing to do is to do that.
That's exactly right, man. So anyway, there is also a creep guy talking about like how hot he thinks the dirter is.
Yeah, sure.
That dude also gets instantly dispatched by Ethan Hawke. And this is what I was talking about is like all of these fights are going down and all these shotguns are going off and people screaming and whatnot. And they keep cutting back to like the lead guy and he's like, somewhere around here is the guy. And I'm like, do you not hear your compatriots in the purge getting murdered?
Yet, at the same time, this is probably the best sequences of the movies. We're actually throwing people onto floors and we're actually doing some stunt work.
This one guy jumps through a window like Batman, which is pretty insane.
Which is like, I feel like if I do that, I'm like, I'm good actually. Yeah. I'm done purging.
I just purged myself because I cut my throat open on the pane of glass that I jumped through.
No more purges for me.
But Lena Headey gets taken here too by like a man and a woman, and the woman starts tickling her because again, all women are eerie.
They're all with their little doll laugh.
Yeah. And they're all ticklish too. They don't want you to know that.
The lead freak finally encounters Ethan Hawke and he stabs him right in the gut. So Ethan Hawke gets got, which, that I remember actually watching the movie. I mean, spoiler alert, from 10 minutes from now, Ethan Hawke dies. And I remember at the time watching this movie being like, well, that's something.
Yeah.
Like the movie, like he's dead and the movie kind of still has like 10 minutes left.
Sure.
And you're like, all right, you did something.
Oh, no. He's dead, the hero?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yes. But I kind of am fine with him dying, actually.
From
everything I've been watching.
The hero, Mr. Guy,
Sardine,
Sandin.
Yeah, Sandin. Okay.
Mr. Sandin.
Sold security. What else about him?
Has a haircut. I know that.
Goatee or something.
Got a
Big
haircut.
promotion coming in, I think.
Yep, that's a character. If you're coming to it's a character.
It's not a character. He's just so standard.
I mean, I am with you, Eric. I like this. This is action. Stuff is happening.
I like the action.
I hate the fucking preppy guy Elmer fudding around the fucking house.
It is so ridiculous. I'm like, do you have earplugs in or something? I don't understand.
Well, we established that this house was the creepiest part of the purge.
Yes.
Who knows how far it goes? It's
Right.
ever expanding. There could be other realms within it.
It's not
Or
house
mirror
like it's not like
It could be.
It might as well be.
I'll tell you what. Extra half star if someone
Sure.
gets eaten by a piano in this
yeah,
movie.
sure. Yeah, that's
All
great.
right, that's
Well,
But
now,
that's
honey,
not doing it.
This house is so big that large swaths of it are haunted, but you should stay
Yes.
out of those parts.
Oh,
The
right,
house is
yes.
big enough.
Of course, avoid the rebels in the railroad bedrooms on the second floor. The rebel contingency. It's such a big house. There's different dynamics at every level.
It's
every
like
floor.
that. What's that story? They made a bad horror movie out of it with. Oh man. Why can't I think of her name? Of course, the Queen, and she's in some of them Fast and Furious.
Helen Mirren?
Helen Mirren was in a movie Winchester something or other where she played.
Just Winchester.
It's just Winchester,
Yeah.
where it's like that woman. It's based on the woman who was like
Yes.
the family, the heir of the Winchester rifle fortune. She was like she kept building onto this house, and there were like doors to
Yes.
nowhere, staircases that went to
Insanity.
walls, like all that stuff. This is the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way any of this makes sense.
Pretty good movie. I
Is that
kinda
right?
like that
Oh,
movie.
I never
Yeah.
actually saw it.
I think that's also Spierig Brothers. I might be wrong though.
But yeah, so this guy, and this is where we get into some of that like the religious intonation of some of this, because the dude is just like, your soul has been cleansed, Mr. Sandin.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
no,
can we leave that out of it?
Yeah.
Or,
No, we can't.
or that's the whole thing.
Exactly.
And it's a Christian ethno-state, which some people in this country are really fucking pushing for anyway. You know what I mean?
I think that's what it's supposed to be with the new founding fathers and the kind of the religious tone of the start of the film.
But then just make that the movie then.
Yeah, you Lutherans aren't safe either. Don't you fucking think about it.
But because it turned into like such a righteous challenge or whatever, this dude's like got a huge boner and he's like, thank you for this unforgettable purge, Mr. Sandin.
And he eerily kisses it. Whoa.
Yeah,
creepy
whoa, saying something, maybe, definitely not. But then this is where I think the kid sees the neighbors coming over through the security camera. Like Chris Mulkey shoots one of the freaks in the head that's just like in the driveway. And you're like, oh, here comes the cavalry.
Yeah. Right.
And you're looking at your watch and you're like, interesting. Only 79 of the 85 minutes have passed. Is there more story here?
Yeah.
And boy, this twist is really stupid.
The guy is about to kill Lena Headey, our villain here, and then Zoe kills him.
Yes.
Zoe does kill him.
Yep.
But then there's still more freaks like, oh no, they're gonna get us all. But then this is when Chris Mulkey and crew come in and just lay waste to all these people. Like, oh my God, thank God you saved us. And then the creepy woman is like, we didn't save you. You're ours, not theirs.
Yeah.
Remember in the beginning of the movie when I was jealous? I'm still jealous. Okay.
Because she's like,
or something.
well, don't thank us too much, Mary.
Yeah.
Why didn't you eat the cookies? You were supposed to eat the cookies and die the clean way. Why don't you die the clean way?
Now I got to come over here and finish the job myself.
Eric,
God
would you go to a potluck during the purge?
I wouldn't go to a potluck during a day, any regular day.
This guy isn't going to a potluck in his own house.
No, well, I wouldn't throw one of those horrid events that are made just to be body fluid swapping events.
Of course.
And so this is where the lady who lives in the same rich ass neighborhood as this family says, you made so much money off of us and then stuck it in our faces. How? Was it really that they built an addition on their house? Is that what caused this?
And I mean, but I think that's actually fine because it's like keeping up with the Joneses. Capitalism is a fucking cancer. All that stuff.
Yes. There is a mention of them thinking about buying a boat as well.
Yeah,
the boat thing. Yeah.
Shows you how bad it's gotten.
Oh my God. A boat? Oh my God.
I'm going to get a yacht. Oh, how could you need a yacht with a car in it? How could you need that?
Oh yeah, the car, it's got like a garage under the
That's
yacht.
like the one where I'm just like, how like where I'm almost getting to what they want Ethan Hawke to be, where it's like so oblivious to what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right.
But they only do that so many times. And then, now he's dead, thank God.
But yeah, now it's like, oh, it's all this rich stuff. And like, but no, it was all about the homeless guy before. And like, you know what I mean? Like, wasn't that the movie? Or what about the boyfriend? What?
Here's the thing. For this twist to work or whatever, it's got to be like a lady and her husband that Lena Headey meets at some volunteer event or a fundraiser or something.
The
and
parents' conference.
There you go. The
right.
parents' conference. Something that's not like they live next door in the same bougie neighborhood.
Yes.
Because then you can keep that like, it is then like a quote unquote lesser class of person coming up and like getting revenge on these people. But like some rich lady upset because they may or may not be buying a boat at some point. It's so fucking dumb.
It's ill-defined. You know nothing about these neighbors, so that's what makes it be like what? Like if you had some scenes at the start where they were being like, like polite, mean or something, like build it up.
Make it a neighborhood story where we open on a barbecue again. Like you would need to do something like this, where it's like, oh my God, there they are. I was like, yeah, we are thinking about buying a boat. I don't know if you guys will ever be able to get one. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, Chris, you're butchering that pig like really hard. Oh, you got plans on the purge coming up? Or?
But you need, if this lady's saying you threw that in our faces, you need to see the throwing in the face.
Yes.
There has to be that scene.
Mulkey has to work at the same security place that fucking hit.
Something
anything
like that.
to suggest that, like, yes, I get what you're saying. That kind of class does like cannibalize each other to try to get ahead.
They can be petty, of course, but like, maybe it's a thing where like Ethan Hawke flubbed some numbers, stole an account from Chris Mulkey. Ethan Hawke got to do the security on the college campus down the street or something, and that was Chris Mulkey's account. And he stole it from him or something.
But it's none of that happens. And basically,
we literally sit at the table and wait out the end of this movie.
Well, no, first our bloody stranger saves the day.
Oh, right,
because they're about to descend upon them. This guy lights up a guy that had no fucking dialogue in the entire movie.
0 lines. That guy who's the first to go. See you later, dude.
Kind of nice seeing our bloody stranger do something, have some agency here.
Yes.
There's the little RC car that starts it off. They're like, what is this?
Yeah,
that's also like, is he driving that, or is the kid?
Who's behind the wheel?
Or the kid's like, follow me, come here to the neighbors to kill.
Yeah, because he uses it as like a they're like, what is that gross thing?
Exactly. Then he shows up and guns down that one fella.
And he goes to Lena Headey, gives her, he disarms them, gives her a gun. She's like, well, what do you want? He's like, what do you want to do with these people?
Your call, he says. Yeah.
And she's like, there's been enough killing tonight. We're gonna
wrong answer. You can't have your neighbors who tried to murder you sit around all year. What's next year gonna be?
Now you're moving.
Well, you gotta move.
You gotta move.
Well, the house where your dad died, so you kind of want to get out anyway.
You're probably getting out anyway. That's
but yeah, they're sitting at the breakfast table.
But this is another thing that like it's just not defined enough. Where this woman is like, okay, we've been disarmed or whatever. And she's like, just kill us quickly. Just do it. And I'm like, no. It should be like, it turns out once they're disarmed, she's terrified to die.
Exactly. She's begging for her life. But no, they're sitting at the table. I forget what does Lena Headey say to Chris Mulkey, where she's like, all this for greed. It's like, go fuck yourself. Which is like her favorite part of the whole movie.
Yes.
Chris Mulkey.
That's
great.
really great. He goes, so she says at first, we're going to play the rest of this night out in motherfucking peace. And so they're sitting there, the sun's kind of coming up, and she turns to him, and yes, it's in a tone of like making polite conversation, and she goes, did you enjoy Grace's purge party, Mr. Halverson? Right. Go fuck yourself.
It's pretty good. It's a good go. And then then this woman who is like the ringleader of them all makes one last grasp for the gun, and she get little audience clap here. She gets her face annihilated by a gun
immediately. Yeah, her nose is just, she gets the butt of a shotgun like right in her nose, bleeding. And
pretty good.
The joke that's pretty great here, I have to admit, I got a laugh out of this, is like the second after Lena Headey butts this lady in the face with the gun, the alarm goes off and it's 7 a.m. That's pretty fucking
Would she
funny.
have assault charges if she did it at 7:01?
I think she's got a case.
I'm pressing charges.
And then this is like,
they all just leave. Again, it is the end of the fucking Looney Tunes. See you later, Max.
I'm punching out. We'll see you next purge. And Lena Headey's saying to this guy, our bloody stranger here, she's like, thank you. Good luck. And this dude just like walks out, and I'm like, this is just the most underwritten pile of donkey shit I've ever seen.
Like, is there anything I can do for you? Maybe, like one of those.
No.
This is your American morning news program. Like, we didn't forget that this is in America. Thank you for that little button on the end of the thing here. But then, so these are like, it just ends with like, Hawke's dead. The kids are kind of crying over him or whatever. We fade to black, and it's like these radio things, and this guy's like, I was a proud American. Not anymore. I lost my two. And it's just all these like these people having like buyer's remorse over it. And it's like,
a purge hangover is a serious situation.
And they're like, but it's kind of weird though how like you hear one report and it's like, and we were shocked. We walked outside in Los Angeles and there was just bodies in the streets. And I'm like, well, you just had the purge.
It's been going on. Has this series done cannibals yet?
Not that I remember.
That would be good.
Maybe like a pocket, like they do really in the next two, and even the first purge, it is very much like spots. You're not like Grillo is the center, but you're going all
everywhere.
over the
You're
place.
seeing all over. Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, dude? You get some like fucking creepy Italian filmmaker, get a real good cannibalistic purge movie going on. Get some real sick fuck to direct one of these things.
Yeah, the Italians are the sickest.
Dude,
I
call
mean that as a
it
compliment.
binge, dude.
Oh,
They're
binge.
binging on the food.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. First you'll binge, and then you'll purge.
Exactly.
There we go. That's the end of this movie, thankfully. I'll go around the horn here. Final thoughts, Eric Siska?
It's not a recommend. There's just nothing here. There's not enough to cling on to. There's some good action moments, but then that's it. I preferred Anarchy, but it's been years since I've seen it, so I don't know how well that holds up.
That's the one that came right after this one?
Came right after this one. And I don't know. Maybe I should go through the rest of these. I don't know.
Chris Cabin.
This one sucks. This is just a very good idea with some teased out concepts and details that I would like to see, but it turns into a normal home invasion movie, and I'm like, it's not a very good one either.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you want good cannibal movies, an Italian one is Cannibal Man. Oh, actually, that might be Spanish. And then
they're both romance languages and subject matter.
We Are What We Are.
That's a good
The
movie.
original version's really good. I have not seen the remake, the English language remake.
Neither have I.
But the original's very good. Just watch the sequels to this. They're much better. They're well made. They're well thought out. Like a lot of the problems we're having here, it gives you that range that you actually don't worry so much about what we could have done. You do a lot.
Yeah. Steve Sadak.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with Chris. I did, at least the second one and the third one. I just kind of got tired of the formula as well after the third one, to be quite honest. But I do think that those two middle movies are worth a damn. I just think that the concept doesn't make any sense, and the satire doesn't make sense, or the chilling thought about it, which is this is supposed to be chilling to your bones. Something like Shirley Jackson's Lottery is chilling because it takes place in the time is never set. You never know what it is. And also it was something that always happened. You always did the lottery every year. And then you're talking about brutal conformity to things that have always been. The idea that I'm living in America right now, and then 2 years from now, they're going to be like, by the way, everybody, we're going to start killing each other every March 21st. And then everyone's going to be like, cool idea. And I know this country has a ton of problems.
It could happen.
It's a bit far-fetched for me.
Yeah, it's just a hardcore no from me. And, congratulations to Mr. DeMonaco. I mean, you had a hit on your hands, or you got lucky, man. You made this movie for beans. Worldwide box office close to $91.3 million. And domestically, it was just about 64.5 million. So it's no surprise we got a ton of movies after this. And hey, no ill will to the guy, but this just does not work for me. As Paul Hollywood would say, it's underbaked. It's one of the most underbaked horror concepts I've seen executed in quite a while. And at the same token, though, I think I will check out those sequels. I like me some Frank Grillo action, and action horror does sound like it should have been the way to go from the jump.
Yep,
and
definitely.
Sorry, you could have figured out a way to do that. You can't tell me that surviving the game broke the bank. Okay, there's ways you could have done it on a cheap budget and not just have this weird Skinamarink house where everybody was just getting lost for some reason. That is going to do it for this episode. We thank you so much for tuning in. If you are one of our kick-ass Patreon subscribers, getting this ad-free at the $8 level or up, that's pretty rad. If you had to listen to this with commercials, get hip to it, man. Patreon.com/WeHateMovies.
Also, get hip to this Thursday night. We are doing a live virtual experience on Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter. So if you are listening to this the week it comes out, that Thursday night, we are doing this at 9 p.m. Eastern, moment.co/WeHateMovies, and it'll be available to basically rent for 7 days after.
That's right. That's right. And the difference is if you watch our show, you will not die 7 days after.
That's
no,
true.
no, you'll live 7 days after.
Yeah, sure you will.
You're going to live till the next Purge.
It's limited, not for Minnesota.
Yes,
right.
Disclaimers on there.
A very spooky movie we just did on our We Love Movies feed, The Exorcist, which is so much better than The Exorcist Believer. Holy shit!
I'm seeing it tomorrow night, and I can't wait to kvetch with you.
You saw that
It's
one?
the worst movie I've seen. This.
Bad.
It's not quite, but it's really close. But The
Nasty.
Exorcist is an excellent movie. Great episode we just did on it. Talking about the 1973 classic.
That's a really great one. It's fun to talk about great movies. Went long on that one too. It's a beefy boy. I like that. Speaking of beefy boys, we were talking South Park on Animation
Yes,
Damnation,
baby.
Korn's Holiday Extravaganza, or whatever the hell it was called.
Scooby-Doo-esque mystery.
Yes.
A lot of fun.
That episode of South Park is way better than this movie we've talked about here this
Oh, yeah.
evening. So we got that going on. Out now, of course, also Once in a Lifetime, Killer Under the Bed, Killer Doll movie. That was also more fun to watch than this movie.
Yes. And if you want to watch a movie along with us, Society Mentary is coming out. Our syncable commentary track to Society.
That's a lot of fun. And that's a movie that's commenting on rich people doing
Sure
stuff
is,
to poor
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
This franchise,
Better
The Purge,
movie.
could have used some shunting, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
But next week here, the Halloween Spooktacular continues with what motion picture, Steve?
We are talking about The Devil's Reign.
Oh,
This
yes.
is exciting. William Shatner, Satanic Cult, or Ernest Borgnine.
Borgnine, yeah.
Scarrett.
Borgnine, if I recall right, with like a ridiculous costume at one point. He's kind of wearing
At one point, yeah.
a cloak thing.
Yes,
I
with the
feel like-
hood, yeah.
I feel like if Ernest Borgnine isn't dressed like a bus driver, he's wearing a ridiculous costume. It's like, what is this? What is this man wearing?
You know why I worship the devil? Because I masturbate a lot.
This movie is kind of reviled, but I remember liking it when I watched it the other year, so I'm excited to
Ooh.
dig back in.
Never seen it, so we'll see here.
And this will be a good, like, this is like the nitty gritty Scuzz Factory episode. Like, this is a
Yes.
forgotten horror
Yes.
Scuzzbo movie.
So everyone that is excited for us to do little lesser known movies, this is a 1975 picture,
it's about as lesser
And-
known as you can get.
but you can actually get it. You can see it very easily, unlike
Yes.
Bushwhacked. It's available where you rent movies.
That's right. So until next week, where we're tangling with the devil and Ernest Borgnine, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy.
We all go a little mad sometimes. You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
Sometimes that is better.
Zombies have entered the building. They're at the door. They're coming in.
It is time to keep your appointment with the Wicker Man.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
You sick fucks. You've seen one too many movies.
Nah, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Put the fucking lotion in the bag!
What an excellent day for an exorcism.